Hi, Peter Jones, Chartered Surveyor, author and property investor, and in this short series of videos we're looking at 10 things that I've learned over the last 20 years in doing property for myself. And number 10 on my list is you have to get started now. Now I was, I suppose, in a fairly fortunate position, although it sounds a little bit ironic, because when I started I had to start now. I had to start now because I'd just been made redundant, and if I didn't do anything and nothing happened, then quite simply I would have gone broke and I wouldn't have been able to feed my family. So looking back now with hindsight, being made redundant was probably the best thing that could have happened to me at that time. Otherwise I would never have started. I'd been thinking about starting in property for a long, long time, but had only taken very tentative steps. So I had to do it. So don't wait, get started now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next year, but get started today, now. What can you do now to get yourself started? Don't procrastinate. Don't get into the trap of trying to make the perfect plan before you start, for example. And what is the perfect plan anyway? Because at the moment, I'm guessing if you're starting, your knowledge is incomplete and not perfect, and we don't know what the future holds. If we don't know what the future holds, how can we plan for it? So no plan can be perfect, so don't wait for the perfect plan. Don't wait for the perfect deal. Does the perfect deal actually exist? Well, maybe, but actually I'd rather go and do a few imperfect deals now and take some action and get those deals under my belt than wait for 12 months or 24 months or 5 years waiting for the perfect deal which may or may not come along and which may or may not exist. Don't get trapped in the, shall I find my first property or shall I find my first JV partner? Shall I find the property and then raise the money, or shall I raise the money and then find the property? Don't get stuck in that kind of stuff. That's just negative thinking. It's like mental quicksand. It'll just suck you in and you'll never get back out again. The key thing is you've got to take action. So start now. Go and look for the property and go and start looking for the finance. Very important. Keep getting yourself educated, but don't wait until you've got all of the education before you start. By the way, you're never going to get all of the education. I've been in property for over 35 years, 20 years doing it for myself, but 35 years in property overall. I don't know everything. Sometimes people are a little bit surprised when I say that, but I don't see why they should be. Why should I know everything? Things are changing all the time. The market's changing, the law's changing, techniques and strategies are changing. People are discovering stuff. Things are going out of fashion. Things that worked yesterday won't work tomorrow. Things that didn't work yesterday will work tomorrow. It's changing all the time. And yes, you need to be educated so that you know what's going on and so that you can adapt and use all the techniques and strategies and stuff. But if you wait until you're fully educated, guess what? You're not going to do anything. So start taking action and get educated at the same time. I read recently a fantastic observation, and it's this, that the great investors are able to make quick decisions using incomplete or imperfect information. Let me just say that again. The great investors are able to make quick decisions using incomplete or imperfect information. They know that the information's incomplete, they know that the information's imperfect, but they make a decision anyway. They go out and do it. And I think that's a fantastic observation. And that's something which some of us struggle with, and some of us want all of our ducks lined up in a row before we'll actually take action. But that can work against you. It sounds sensible, but it actually works against you. Now, I'm not saying that the great investors are reckless. They know the probabilities, they've got a good idea of what the risks are, but they're able to see through all of that and use all of that to be able to see through the imperfect information that they have and come up with a decision. And most of the time it's the right decision. By the way, I remember again reading, and I can't remember who said it, but 99% of the decisions we make don't matter anyway, and yet we always imagine that they will. So don't procrastinate. Do it now. Get yourself started. If you haven't started, get started. And if you have started, thinking back to one of the earlier videos, you must commit to keeping on going no matter what happens. So I've been Peter Jones, Chartered Surveyor, author, property investor. If you want to know more about me, you'll find me at thepropertyteacher.co.uk. Otherwise, until the next video, here's to successful property investing.